Kwame B on ZtoZ. Water. Alright, so we talked about this, that I drink like I drink somewhere between 3 to 5 liters of water a day. I think that's really important. The only type of water that I've been drinking since I started my ZtoZ journey is spring water, like all natural spring water. So things like Mountain Valley spring water, Fiji water, which is artisan water, but this is good water. Evian, as you always see me with usually, or Zephyr Hills, which is a spring here in Florida where they get the water from. All really good water. Recently I started learning that, because I usually keep a lot of my waters in the car so I can always have them on the go, no excuses, no exceptions, you know me. But it gets really hot here in Florida, and my car gets really, really, really hot and gets really insulated, and so a lot of things get, just the temperature rates is insanely hot. And like you can grab it and it's hot to the touch and hot to when you drink it too. But I've learned that some plastics can, when heated up to that amount and that level and stay baked in the heat like that, can leave off certain chemicals. So that's when I started getting into a little bit of Mountain Valley spring water really recently after I learned that, and because I can keep this one in the car, in the trunk, no matter what, and as much as it heats up, the glass won't emit any type of chemicals off into the water, so it'll always be safe to drink. Now, I never let that be an excuse anyway. I drink my hot waters as well. I don't care. You know, something happens to me, then I'll care. But for now, I rather have the practice of always having the liters of water in rather than not having them at all. So if there's a choice between hot water or no water, I'm gonna take the hot water each time, but this is a good choice to have in the trunk. This is a good choice to just have anytime, more particularly if you can keep it cooler rather than storing it hotter. So, but I drink them all, right? Mountain Valley, Fiji, I'm out of Evian right now, Zephyr Hills too. Who wants to partner with us? Yeah, this was a difficult one for me. This was a difficult one, no question, no doubt about that. I still gave it as good of an effort as I could, and I honestly feel that I took the breaks where I needed to in the middle of it to gather my mind, get myself collected. But before I went to work out today, just a lot of things happened, a lot of things on my mind, work-wise, a lot of things that didn't go so well, didn't go so right. Got a call during the middle of it. That was an important call that I had to take. That also wasn't a good call, so it was like bad news on bad news on bad news. So it was weighing on me. But here's the important part, is that I could choose to continue to focus on that, and it is still in my mind now. Those the thoughts, the things that I have to deal with, the information that I received, I still have to deal with all of that. It's not gone anywhere, but I could choose what to focus on in that moment, right? And this was my time allocated that I said, we're gonna get this in today. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna make it happen, right? And I told myself as it's going through, I'm committed to this, right? I have to continue this commitment, and I must stay dedicated to the development of my discipline for myself. So I had to push through anyway. Easily, the old me would have easily just gotten up and said, you know what, I got too much going on, I gotta run to try to deal with this, run to try to deal with that. There was like a real-time situation happening, and as I was getting the call for it, I was like, you know what? I wouldn't make it there in time anyway. There's nothing I could do. I was like, you know, whatever you can do, you know, whatever happens as a result of it, let me know the outcome or the after effects, or if there's anything I can do afterwards, but there's nothing I can go do in this moment, and I wouldn't make it in time to make any difference. And what has happened has already happened. And I had to just be accepting of that and move on. It didn't need to affect me to the point where I couldn't continue my commitment, where I would stray away from my discipline. You know, it's almost time to start eating, so I still gotta go get fruit. I gotta probably get more water. I gotta get an Olipop. I wanna try these new protein chips, this new flavor that I saw, the Quest protein chips. I'm like a fanatic about those right now. I just had them for the first time a couple days ago, and I'm like in love with these things. It's like being able to eat chips again. They're so I'm gonna go get some more right now. And an Olipop, which I'm fanatic about Olipops. I love Olipops, the root beer one particularly. It's like, I feel like it's the drink of the year for the past 2 years. Alright, so just left out of Target. Almost time for me to start eating, almost 2 o'clock. A couple minutes away, of course. Always first things first, the Holy Trinity. Raspberries, blackberries, blueberries. I always eat each of these pints. I think this is about a pint each. Pint to half a pint each every single day. Probably half a pint, it doesn't matter. Eat however many you want to. Handfuls are usually good for most people. I go somewhere between half a pint to a pint of each of these a day, but my goodness, have I felt fantastic since I started this again. Raspberries, blackberries, blueberries. These ones all happen to be organic, not that they have to be, but I just usually feel better about eating the organic ones right out the pack. And here's what I was talking about earlier. So, the Olipop. I can't believe it. I found this drink by happenstance like a year and a half ago. It is so good. Plant-powered, microbiome improved, a new kind of soda. It is the drink. And then, the other thing I've been talking about, the Quest protein chips. Now this is the new flavor, so I can't sign off on this particular flavor until I try it, until I eat it, but chili lime flavor, I've had these. I've had the hot and spicy flavor. They are fantastic. I'm assuming these are gonna be as well. One of these bags, 140 calories, only 4.5 grams of fat, 320 milligrams of sodium, 4 grams of carbohydrates, 1 gram of fiber, and 20 grams of protein. It's freaking fantastic. You eat this whole bag, this whole thing, all four, these are 4 mini bags in here, that'd be 80 grams of protein. So I used to eat huge bags of chips. That would be 4 of these. And I would just eat them for nothing, for no gain, for nothing beneficial. I would just eat them to eat them. This here, like you eat this and you can eat, and they taste, to me, the other one that I tried, it tastes, and I've had a lot of the other ones so far, and now I'm branching out and trying a new flavor since this one caught my eye. They taste like regular chips. They taste like regular Doritos. And I used to put away Doritos. Like, you give me some of those Flamin' Hot, it was like the Flamin' Hot blue cheese Doritos, whatever they had a while back. I could knock those out, put them away, 2 bags back to back, the big family size bags. These are like the same quality level, taste just as good. Like, and like the main thing in here is the whey, like milk protein isolate, whey protein isolate. I cannot taste it. Like, I hate whey protein. I cannot stand it, the taste of it. I can't detect it at all in these. It's free, like, you know, this is just me being fanatical. Like, these people are giving me no money. The blueberries, the raspberry people, the blackberry people give me no money. Olipop gives me no money, even though I would be open to any type of partnerships in the future. They give me no money. I'm just fanatic about their products because they're helping me on my journey and changing my lifestyle for the better. And like, man. Anyway, sorry. That was my grand story. I just ran off. I don't know why I ran off, but the Holy Trinity, some Quest chips, root beer Olipops. Whoo! And I don't know. I don't see how I can fail. There's just too much good stuff. It's easy. Now, it's not cheap. None of these things are like the cheapest things, right? It's like $2.50 a bag for these chips, and the Olipops are like $2 can go up to $2.50 each themselves. However, people spend more on that. You know, if you eat 1 bag and 1 Olipop a day, $5, right? That's a Starbucks coffee. When you're loaded up with all that stuff, is no good for you, especially if you're getting like the Frappuccinos and all the other crap in there. That's no good for you, right? You buy, these days, you buy a couple Cokes, it's the same price. You know, there's a bunch of things you could equate it to, right? That we buy. Like, how many snacks are you buying that you're consuming that have no benefit to you, that give you no value? Probably a lot, right? How many energy drinks do you buy? How many energy drinks do you buy that have no real benefit to you? And they're expensive. None of those energy drinks are cheap. How many of those are you buying a day? Monsters, Red Bulls, even Celsius, C4, all that type of stuff. How many? Bang. Those aren't cheap. If I'm going to allocate and put money into something, I'd rather it be something that's beneficial for me and that helps me achieve the goals that I have for myself and that supplies me with success and helps me on my pathway to see all the results that I want for myself. And these do that. So if you tell me, I even calculated out, it's like, man, if I drank a whole 4 thing of Olipop every day, 4 cans of Olipop every day, and have 4 of the chips, that's, what, $10, $20 a day, $600 a month, $7,200 a year. You told me $7,200 a year as an insurance policy and I'll be able to achieve all my fitness goals, then I would do it. I would pay it. You told me $600, man, my eye. Something flew in there. If you told me anyway, look, folks, audit your own life and audit your own expenses and see where $600 a month is probably going to. Not that I'm consuming that much of these, but I very well could. And I wouldn't be upset with myself if I did, because I would probably just audit, if I couldn't fit it in already, where $600 a month is going to elsewhere. How many other snacks and treats and bad eats that I'm probably buying already? And just replace it with this. How many things do I not need all the time, every day, that I'm buying already, and just replace it with this? Or with things that are good like this. Just replace. Audit, revise, and renew. My eye.